Right then guys, hands up, who hates negative numbers? My hands up. When I cock up, it's usually because of negative numbers, and I see a lot of my own minions struggle with these guys. So, this video is all about showing you some tips and tricks and the rules of negative numbers to hopefully make them make sense and hopefully cut down on the silly mistakes that we make. So, let's get cracking. First up then we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting. So, a nice little way that I found to do this is by using a number line. So, familiarise yourself with a number line again. Now we're not going to faff around putting loads and loads of numbers on our number line. In fact, we're only going to start with 0 on our number line. So, when we add numbers, that moves us to the right on our number line, and when we subtract numbers, that moves us to the left on our number line. So this is really useful. It's a nice visual aid when we are playing around with negative numbers. So let's do some examples using this guy. Okay, first up then we're going to start with a nice easy one, 2 plus 10, just to get us used to how to use a number line. So, the first number that you're given, I like to think of as your starting point. So we're starting here at 2. So, anywhere to the right of 0 on our number line, let's whack a cheeky little 2. Now, the second number is our instruction. It tells us where and how to move. So we got a plus 10. Now that tells me we're going to go 10 places to the right. So, as I said, it's a nice simple one. 2 plus 10, we all know, is 12. Well, that's a nice easy example to illustrate how we're going to be using our number line. So, let's go for 2 minus 5. So, again, our starting point is 2, which can be anywhere to the right of 0. Now, our instruction is to move 5 places to the left because we are subtracting 5. So, this is where the number line comes in really handy. So I like to use 0 as a checkpoint. So I would first of all think, how do we get from 2 to 0 by going to the left? Well, we would subtract 2. So altogether we want to subtract 5. At the moment, to get us down to 0, we've subtracted 2. Now let's think about how many more we have to subtract. So, we've taken off 2, we want to take away 5 in total. That means we have another 3 to take off. So, from 0, we're going to subtract another 3. Now that is going to take us down to minus 3. So, our answer is minus 3. So even though we've done it in 2 steps, minus 2 and then minus 3 altogether, we've subtracted 5. But we've just used 0 as a little checkpoint. Next up, we've got 8 minus 19, so slightly more horrible numbers. Again though, the first number, 8, is our starting point. So let's put 8 over there somewhere. Now we want to subtract 19. So, use 0 as our checkpoint. So, how do we get from 8 to 0? We subtract 8. Now, altogether, we want to subtract 19. So, if we've subtracted 8 so far, that leaves us with 11 more to take off. So, we go another 11 places to the left So that takes us down to minus 11. So again, altogether, we've taken away 19, but we've just done it in 2 steps using 0 as a checkpoint. Okay, next up. Alright, minus 6 minus 8. So this is the type of question that I very often see an incorrect answer to. A lot of people would look at this and go, oh, it's a double negative. So an answer I would see to this a lot of the time would be positive 14. But that is not right. Minus 6 minus 8 is not positive 14. So let's get rid of that straight away. So this is not a double negative. I'll explain to you what a double negative is in a moment. So our first number, remember, is our starting point on the number line. So we're starting at minus 6. Now our instruction is telling us to go 8 places to the left because we've got minus 8. So we're not crossing 0 here. We're starting at minus 6 and we're going another 8 places into a negative number land. So let's think about it. Well, we're going from minus 6. So if you use your fingers to do this, don't count minus 6 as a finger. You're not moving anywhere to get to minus 6. So if you're using your fingers, count with me. We got minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, minus 10, minus 11, minus 12, minus 13, minus 14. So this is going to give us minus 14. So let's do more like that. Okay, now again, minus 7 minus 15. So the first number, our start, is minus 7. Now, it's going to be quite hard to count minus 15 on your fingers. So let's break it down. Let's first of all go 10 places to the left. So if we go minus 10, or minus 10 places, it's taking us 10 places to the left. So that is going to take us to minus 17. Altogether though, we need to go 15 places to the left. So we've got another 5 places to go. So now you could do that on your fingers if you want. Let's do it. Remember, don't put your finger up from minus 17. You're not moving anywhere. So the first place we're going to move to is minus 18, minus 19, minus 20, minus 21, minus 22. So minus 22 is our answer. Okay, let's do one more like that. Okay, minus 9, minus 29. So again, we're starting in negative number land. Now, there are a few ways we can think about this. Minus 29 is incredibly close to minus 30. So let's subtract 30. So we're going to go 30 places to the left. Now that is going to take us down to minus 39. But we didn't want to go 30 places left. We only wanted to go 29 places left. So now we need to go 1 place back to the right. So that's going to take us to minus 38. Okay, now let's have a look then at what a double negative is. Okay, so these guys here are examples of double negatives. So whenever you've got two negative signs sat right next to each other with nothing between them, this is a double negative. So 2 minus 3 becomes 2 plus 3. So that's going to give us 5. 10 minus 7 becomes 10 plus 7, which is 17. Minus 1 minus 8 becomes minus 1 plus 8, which is 7. So in terms of addition and subtraction, you only have a double negative when your two subtraction signs are right next to each other, and then they become a positive. So now let's have a look at multiplication and division. Okay, so multiplication and division. So here are the rules. Now really, division is a multiplication, so the same rules apply for division. So a positive times a positive gives us a positive. A negative times a negative gives us a positive. So a positive divided by a positive gives us a positive, and a negative divided by a negative gives us a positive. So when the signs are the same, we get positives. When we do a positive times a negative, we get a negative. When we do negative times positive, we get a negative. And the same is true for division. When we do a positive divided by a negative, we get a negative. And when we do a negative divided by a positive, we get a negative. So when the signs are different, you get a negative. So let's have a look at using these rules. Okay, first up then, 2 times 3, positive times positive is going to be positive, so that's positive 6. Minus 2 times 3, negative times positive is going to give us negative 6. Minus 2 times minus 3, negative times negative is going to give us positive 6. And 2 times minus 3, positive times negative gives us negative 6. Yeah, let's do a couple of chains of multiplication. So, first of all we got 5 times minus 2 times minus 3. So, 5 times minus 2 is, let's change colour. 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. So we got minus 10 times 3. So we got negative times positive. That's going to give us minus 30. And then the second one, we got 6 times minus 4. So let's do that first. Positive times a negative is negative. So we got minus 24 times minus 1. And that is going to give us positive 24. Because we've got a negative times a negative. So if you have chains, break it down to one multiplication at a time. Okay, a couple of divisions. So first of all, 10 divided by minus 2 is, well, it's a positive divided by a negative. So it's going to give us a negative 5. And then minus 40 divided by minus 8 is a negative divided by a negative. That's going to give us positive 5. You might also be given these in fraction form, because remember, fractions are divisions. So you might be given 9 over minus 3, for example. So that is saying 9 divided by minus 3. Positive divided by a negative is going to give us negative 3. Or minus 8 divided by 2. Negative divided by a positive is going to give us a negative 4. Okay, there's one more thing I want to talk about in here, and that is why our calculators give us a different answer to things like this. So, the last thing I want to mention in this video is that you should always be very, very, very careful when putting negative numbers into your calculator. So, if you were to put each of these two things here in, you would get a different answer. So, remember, hopefully we've all been told by now, whenever you square a number, you always get a positive answer. So why then, when you put the right hand guy in, minus 2 squared, why you get minus 4? Well, it's because your calculator is being a good mathematician. It's doing bit maths. So, what this is doing, if you don't put brackets in, it's taking care of the power, first of all, or the indice. So what your calculator is doing here, it's doing 2 squared first. So it's giving you minus 4, which then is minus 4. So that is the wrong way to put negative numbers into your calculator. It's very subtle, it seems very nitpicky, but it's very important. So the right way to put negative numbers into your calculator always is with brackets around them. So if you put your minus 2 inside the brackets and then your square on the outside, your calculator is going, okay, so we're doing minus 2. So we're doing minus 2 times minus 2, and that gives you the correct answer of positive 4. So whenever you're using your calculator for negative numbers, please always put brackets around them. Okay, hope this has helped, guys. Any questions, let me know down below.